Black Manta issue 1, Chuck Brown writing with Valentine DeLandro on the art. This was teased a little bit in the Aquaman 80th anniversary special last week. So, I did not read this. I did.
No,
though.
I ran out of time. Being a short week and it's been crazy at work. I wish I wanted to read this, but I ran out of time. Because the art, I'm sure the art is phenomenal. I love D'Andro.
Yeah, the art is great. The art is really the show stealer, in many ways. I think it's a very easy read as well. Like the dialogue is reserved, and the writer knows to keep it light and let the art do a lot of singing, which is really, really nice. There's kind of a nice thing at the start here where Black Manta's on a jet ski and he's talking about, like, you know, what is my legacy? I'm a pirate, I'm a mercenary, blah blah blah. And it cuts to like a ship where some pirates have like taken over this ship and they're holding hostages. And Black Manta ends up kind of inadvertently coming in and being the hero that saves them, but he's not actually there to save them. He's there to settle a score because they stole something from him, and doesn't give a shit about the innocent hostages. But the issue jumps around various plot threads. We have that kind of playing out. We have kind of how he meets a couple of people when he was kind of on a heist, essentially. And how he found the big rock, which he then cut the small piece out of that was teased in that 8th anniversary special. And that kind of sets up a couple of different things. So, I mean, I guess if I have a critique about this issue, because I think it reads very well, and it's always great looking, and it's paced very well. The only real issue I'd have with it is maybe not having a solid grasp on what the point of the story quite is yet. Clearly this rock is affecting people. It's giving like migraines or aneurysms to like people around the world. There's like a sort of panel where you see a bunch of people in Gotham, Japan, Ethiopia, Star City, Coast City, all reacting. And it depends on like maybe genes or something as to who it's affecting. That stuff's kind of neat. It is affecting Black Manta as well. He's also having these headaches. And Gallows, the woman who's there with him, is like telling him, you know, maybe some of this is unsafe, or maybe you know, this rock's too dangerous to mess with. Like, you know, what are we going to do? And there's a bit of a conflict between them as well, because she's sort of like had a few situations where she's made a point of not killing people, and he's like, you know, it'd have been quicker just to kill X, Y, and Z person, and she's like, no, like, I have no problem killing someone, but I'm also not going to do it for no reason. If there's another way of doing it, we'll take the non-lethal approach. So they're having a bit of a conflict there. Yeah, and Gallows has a pretty funny joke actually here as well, where she says that if she kills Black Manta, she might make a fortune by just selling his helmet to Batman, because she hears he likes to collect trophies. So I actually call it that. The big thing at the ending, though, is that we go to the underworld, and there's like a statue. Presumably, this, you know, we're talking underworld, underwater here, and basically, Zebellians probably are immune to whatever the rock is doing. This mysterious rock that we still haven't quite talked about, or explained exactly what it is. But this statue sort of like cracks and then smashes, and then out comes a woman from it. And she's got like a flame sword. There's gargoyles. There's gargoyles around her saying, you know, go back to sleep. And she's like, out of my way, abominations. And she goes smashing through the cave walls and goes to freedom. Yeah, and she's got like big, bushy white hair. Like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on, right? There's definitely some mystical elements to this rock, and it's clearly awoken someone who was asleep in a gargoyle. I will say, like, there's kind of like a Dr. Fate style symbol. Like when they go to in the heist portion, when Black Manta is going with a couple of cronies to collect it, he opens a pocket dimension, so he's actually got some Dr. Fate-esque magic. So he opens So it's like a container that's in like a shipyard, but it's like hidden in a pocket dimension, or maybe he just uses the pocket dimension to go inside it. Yeah, maybe that's all it is. He just opens a pocket dimension so they can walk inside through the door.
So it's like an Ankh, the loop cross.
Yeah. That's how he gets inside the container. I thought that was a fun beat. But yeah, there's like very little to say as to what this rock actually is. I mean, presumably since Zebellian DNA should make you immune to the migraines, I imagine it's going to link up with Atlantean or Zebellian or some other underwater connective bit of history or something. Yeah. I mean, it's a very easy read. The art's very good. And the voice for Black Manta is pretty strong. It's a very confident book, I would say. But it is banking on you kind of like being into this mystery. And if anything, the only part of it that I think is kind of weak is the mystery itself. Because right now it just feels very undercooked, where I'm like, you've not really given me enough to really tease much out of me. Unless maybe for hardcore Aquaman fans that know all of Aquaman's history, maybe this is like touching a button for them. Maybe this is making them go, oh, I get this reference, or I know who this character might be who just came out of the statue underwater, but I don't have a goddamn clue.
They don't have anybody listed on the Comic Geeks, so they only have 2 characters listed. So
yeah, I don't know. But this was it was very readable though. Like, I actually had a really fun time reading it just because it was so easy to read and the art's really good. So, list of books permitting next month, I will probably read issue 2 of this just because it is such an easy goddamn read. But yeah, I mean, as it is, I would probably give it like a 7, I think. And maybe that even seems maybe a bit high, given that I'm saying that I don't really understand what the story's doing yet. But it was a very pleasant read. It read quickly. The voice for Black Manta was good. I liked the banter with this other character, which I said in the preview story from the last anthology book. So that's still there, which is nice. And the art is very delightful. It's got a good vibe. So I think I'm down to check out more, providing that it's not like ends up being a really busy week if there's a lot of new books starting next month. Which has happened a couple of times recently where I've said, oh, maybe I'll come back for issue 2, and then there's like 3 new books the following month, so I'm like, nah, screw that. But hey, yeah, so I'll go 7 out of 10. I think the art is pretty strong. There's a lot of nice, inky, thick line work, which is kind of, the staple of this art is from the one, because it was those Future State Mr. Miracle backups was where we saw this artist before.
Yep.
So some of that same vibe in this, which I think it gives it like the faces really make me think of like an indie book, or even maybe like a Gotham Central-esque kind of looking book. Is kind of the art style that I'm getting from this. So
nice.
Take from that what you will, but that's Black Manta issue 1. Don't have a whole lot to say though, which you could view as a negative in and of itself.